We've heard the news now. It's official. Julian Assange has been released. This is great news, especially for his wife and children who haven't seen him in many, many years. He's spent the past 5 years in isolation, and now he is on his way home to Australia. This is amazing news. But what were the terms of his release, and does that play an effect onto the impact of this release? We're going to go over that, as well as reminders as to why Julian was arrested in the first place, which truths were being made public thanks to Wikileaks, and what were the ties between Satoshi Nakamoto and Julian Assange. And even better, how can the Bitcoin network help to ensure that the work done by Wikileaks lasts forever? This is a great video. Really excited to see it, and obviously very happy to see Julian walking free. Now, there's a lot of people talking, and rightfully so, talking about Julian Assange on Twitter today. There is one tweet from James Melville that I thought hit the nail right on the head. He said he wasn't in prison for his own crimes, but for exposing the crimes of others. Which truths were Julian's company, Wikileaks, making public? Things like the fact that the CIA created ISIS, videos that showed complete brutality of the American warfare in Iraq, and perhaps most damning and dangerous of all, the release of the Hillary Clinton emails. Here's some quotes from Assange that I think are noteworthy and should be repeated, especially in this day and age. The things that we are seeing being projected by the media today. Here are some quotes from Julian Assange. I'm going to go ahead and read them off again so I don't mince my words. He says, "The goal is an endless war, not a successful one." He's also said, "Every war has been a result of media lies." He also said, "What's the difference between Mark Zuckerberg and me? I give private information on corporations to you for free, and I'm a villain. Zuckerberg gives your private information to corporations for money, and he's the man of the year." Now, as I mentioned before, he is free, and that is a great thing. No denying that. But at what cost? What were the circumstances for his being set free? Well, number one, we have to understand that he was not pardoned for these crimes. He was set free thanks to a plea deal. That means that he had to plead guilty. And what was it he had to plead guilty to? The conspiracy to obtain and disclose national defense information. Now, RFK Jr., again, I thought he had actually a pretty good tweet illuminating what really happened in his release and what was sacrificed in his release. Here's a tweet from RFK Jr. He says, "The U.S. security state succeeded in criminalizing journalism and extending their jurisdiction globally to non-U.S. citizens." Now, we've seen this in the crypto community with the Tornado Cash devs. Amazing that the U.S. had the jurisdiction to go ahead and lock those guys up. The security state has imposed a horrifying precedent and dealt a big blow to freedom of the press. And so while everyone here is celebrating the fact that Julian Assange is free, again, this is amazing. He finally gets to be reunited with his wife and children, but his release does not set a good precedent looking forward for, again, like freedom of the press, like RFK was highlighting there. But what did Satoshi think of WikiLeaks? What did he think of Julian Assange? Well, very early on in the release of Bitcoin, WikiLeaks was having issues receiving donations to support their efforts. Major payment processors like Amex, Visa, and PayPal were all denying WikiLeaks their payment capabilities. So WikiLeaks started accepting Bitcoin as a form of donation, which was amazing because, again, Bitcoin is peer-to-peer, it's permissionless, it's borderless, it is censorship resistant, but keep in mind, this was in the year 2010. Bitcoin was very small, not nearly as large and robust of a network as we see today. Here's what Satoshi said: "It would have been great to get this attention in any other context. WikiLeaks has kicked the hornet's nest, and the swarm is headed towards us." Now, keep in mind, this was the second to last post that Satoshi made on the Bitcoin forum, on Bitcoin Talk. So Satoshi was really paranoid of preserving his anonymity. And things like the attention coming from WikiLeaks, the use of Bitcoin was going to draw more attention and possibly could have sacrificed his anonymity, and even more detrimentally could have been the end of Bitcoin before it ever really turned into what it is today. So Satoshi asked Assange to no longer accept Bitcoin as a form of donation, and Assange agreed. Luckily, WikiLeaks was able to survive without the use of Bitcoin at that start of 2010. But since then, WikiLeaks has done very well with their donations of a number of different cryptocurrencies that they now accept. And I think they've made a pretty penny on their overall investment in Bitcoin over the years as well. Keep in mind, when they were first accepting Bitcoin as a donation, Bitcoin was under $1. So if they've held on to any of that, they've done very well in terms of fiat prices. Just accumulating Bitcoin, I'm guessing they've done quite well as well. But the ties between Bitcoin and WikiLeaks not only have continued over the years, but they become even more solidified in a really cool way even more recently. I'm going to talk to you about Project Spartacus. Thanks to an anonymous developer, they have published the WikiLeaks logs, the WikiLeaks Afghan logs, which were originally made public in 2010. They have published those on the Bitcoin blockchain with the Ordinals protocol. So that's amazing. And when I talk about blockchain technology and the use of hashing to verify history and how that hashing algorithm and the mining of Bitcoin, that is all protected and secured through math, that's what I mean, that we now have mathematically proven honesty that can be applied to transaction history. And thanks to the ability to include other information in a Bitcoin transaction, that can also now apply to historical events. And with Project Spartacus, now we have the Afghan war logs inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain to be solidified and publicly verifiably honest history forever. I think that's an amazing thing. And it's coming in a time where we now have AI and fake information, fake images, fake videos all coming out, and you can't tell what's real, what's fake. Thank you to Bitcoin and the blockchain technology through the use of hashing that we can verify if changes have been made to original publishings. Hello, mathematically proven honesty. Couldn't come at a better time, and this Project Spartacus is showing a great example of how to utilize blockchain technology for even more than the amazing advent of, just digital currencies that are borderless, that have removed state from money. Really cool, and it just gets better. If you guys want to keep learning about crypto and all the ways that it is a solution for the problems that we see in today's world, please keep watching Crypto Tips. This channel, my name is Heidi. If you haven't hit subscribe yet, I highly recommend that you do. If this channel isn't enough information for you, I highly recommend you check out learningcrypto.com. Go ahead and venture over to that website. Let me know what you think. Anyway, I'll see you guys again soon. Have a good one.